atheism is meaningless? Why would I say such a thing? Well, if I was to go up to an atheist and ask them, by what authority is the word meaning, the definition of the word meaning, set in stone? What are they going to say? If they cannot accept an outside authority, outside of reality, such as God, then the authority is going to fall on each individual person. That means that meaning itself is subjective. But if it's subjective and it's describing a non-material thing, what's going to happen is that meaning itself is not going to be able to exist. If meaning is subjective, it cannot exist when it could easily just change depending on the person who is defining it. Without an outside authority to set reality in stone, and to set the meaning in stone, meaning does not exist. The rebuttal is to say, no, my life does have meaning because I have, friends and family that fill my life with meaning, and I like to do good things for people, and that fills my life with meaning. But the problem is that that's not really the point. The point is that there's no such thing as meaning, so that's not possible that those things give your life meaning. If you look at the scientific side of things, it's pretty much the same. The current theory is that the universe is just going to die someday. Whether it be tomorrow or a billion years from now, it is going to die. That is what the current scientific view is. The second law of thermodynamics says that the amount of entropy in a system must always increase, and entropy is disorder. So currently the universe is headed towards maximum entropy, and so basically it is headed towards death. all records, all songs, all books, all world events, everything will be gone. Every person will be gone. So what is the point of doing anything when eventually everything will be gone? What's the point of saving the rainforest when it's not going to pay off? The rainforest will eventually be destroyed. What's the point of saving people when everyone is eventually going to die off? The universe is going to die. That's what the scientific view is. So, if that's the scientific view, there's really no point to doing anything. Especially when there's no outside authority in an atheistic framework. Because at that point, there is no one to even remember any action that you've done on Earth. We all think that, no, I'm going to leave something behind in a book or a song or some piece of writing or something on TV or something like that. But the reality is that in a purely atheistic framework, everything will be wiped clean. There will be nothing left and there'll be no one to see it. You will not be remembered in any single way. The good news is that that's not true. Life does have meaning. And the reason it has meaning is because there is an outside authority who has set meaning into reality. That's one thing that I had to realize when I was an atheist. At one point I thought because there was so much evil in the world that there was no authority outside that was guiding this. But then I eventually had to realize, what is evil? Like, what does that mean? And what does meaning mean? Like, what is this? And I had to come to grips with the fact that without an outside authority, there is no evil, and there is no meaning. But I can see evil, and I can see meaning. I can see information. What does that lead to? That only leads you to someone that has placed meaning into reality. Someone that has set boundaries and regularities and guidelines and who has set purpose into reality. It's the same thing when we think of a video game designer who designs a game and sets all the borders and boundaries and purpose and places meaning into the game. And the same thing when we think of an author. Someone who creates a reality, sets that reality, and sets meaning into that reality within the book. That's really who God is. He is the ultimate author. He is the first cause. He is the one that sets meaning into reality. And without him, there is no meaning. If you're an atheist, you're going to have to ask the question that I had to ask myself. And that is, how do I get meaning into my life? Now, what is meaning? And the answer is going to be, meaning does not exist unless God exists. So what you're going to have to get is God. And without God, you're not going to get any meaning. And the reason why you want to ask that question is that it's not only you that benefits from this, but it's everyone around you. The claim to be an atheist is also a claim that your family, your friends, everyone around you is also meaningless. And that's why it's so important that you seek this out. This is just something that I could not reconcile in any single way. And the reason why I couldn't reconcile it is because it's not the truth. The truth is that God does exist. I see meaning. I see this reality has been made. I see there's information within it. That has to come from somewhere. I see this book. This book has to have an author. That's just a logical train of thought. And it's the one that makes the most sense. And it's the one that gives meaning to not only my life, but everyone else's life around me. We need to go after the truth, no matter what. Because it's so important, not only for us, but for everyone else around us. For everything that we do. The weight of the truth does mean life.